Also, did you notice that his face looked more skeleton-y?
It has for a bit.
Yeah, and I was kind of wondering if that was just like because it was far away and they weren't drawing detail or something.
No,
but
like
it
the
was
skin
definitely odd.
His skin was definitely like removed at that point.
They're probably doing exactly what Annie did.
What?
Having the Titans swarm them and then escaping.
But there were no Titans spotted in the area.
You're right.
That's a crazy shot, dude.
His mouth is wide open.
You want to know what the interesting thing about that is, though? If his mouth is wide open, where's Ymir and random person?
You know what that question opens up? Are the stomachs and the inside of the body of the Titan form of someone who is a person that can transform different than the Titans that were studied?
It's also a really good question if you're thinking about if the person is controlling a Titan, is their weight different than regular Titans? Because we know regular Titans are supposed to be light, right? Okay, do you want to go from the beginning?
Yeah, definitely.
So, starting back with like the flashbacks, right? I'll never be able to watch the show the same way again if I start over from episode 1. But Reiner and Berthold and Annie, in my point of view, have been training Eren and are continuing. I know they're fighting right now. I don't even think
it needs to be necessarily a point of view at this point or like subjective, because Annie was really hitting home. Learn from this, learn from this, learn from this. She had like 5 lines in a row basically reiterating the same thing to him, almost trying to drill it into his head that he needs to learn from this moment.
Not gonna lie, it felt a little uncomfortable in like a forcey kind of way. On episode 23 or 4, whenever Mikasa was like, or is that not the only reason you're not like trying to beat Annie right now? Because I felt like there were some underlying like feelings there, but now I'm like that. I don't know. We're gonna get to it later on, but there was like a little bit of like sexual tension like that I was feeling.
I could have seen there being some crushes involved for sure. I mean, we know that like Jean has a crush on Mikasa. Like that is like so evident.
So now that we're
what was that shot?
I don't I know it's Titans.
I feel like we weren't supposed to see that.
Do you get what I was like scared of watching the intro? Like, let's be real. There was.
Do you see is it that Ymir and
watching
Annie?
Historia?
Is that Historia's face and then Ymir's face?
Yeah.
Over top of her, and then what's over top of Ymir?
It looked like Eren.
Okay.
That being said, and the Armor Titan, but there was obvious importance laid on Historia and Ymir just from the intro. I am so glad we didn't watch this intro, because then I would have known or expected the Armored and Colossal Titan to appear.
And that Eren was going to fight them in Titan form, but not in a city. It also gives location cues.
It does.
We would have been like, why are they fighting the Colossal and the Armored Titan outside of a city? That's where they normally seem to attack. And it shows all these natural, like, predator-prey
There was
pictures.
A shot before that.
And is that baby Historia?
Hold on, this one. So, this is weird, because this is what I assume to be a heart, no? Like,
It's definitely, like, where their hearts are.
Yeah. So, we have that, but then, and this is a weird shot.
Is that to show that they're all technically human? If they have a beating heart?
If that's true, then all the animals are human too. Because in the later shot that we get of the animals with the orangutan, then it shows all of them having hearts. So like you see the Armored Titan and Eren, both of them have the heart. Then you get the weirdest shot I've ever seen in my entire life. All these different animals, all of them have these points too, right?
Yeah, but we aren't given that with the other Titans. You
Correct.
know, we aren't told that they have these internal organs, but all of the ones that we know are
What is
but the
this?
Beast Titan has it. Are those the true locations of hearts in those animals? And can we really know where a dinosaur's heart is? Like, is that something that like we know? So
I'm so tripped out, man. Is this symbolism, or are we gonna see animals fighting with Titans?
That alligator
and I don't want that
is a little big.
I'm gonna be really upset if we see dinosaurs and stuff come out and we watch this intro. Because I wouldn't want to know this is coming.
I think what it's doing is showing that the Titan is closer maybe to more animalistic in nature and maybe has been around for a while compared to the humans and humanity.
You know, it's an interesting thought. If any of our characters saw a giraffe or a hippo or an elephant or an alligator, they wouldn't I don't think they would know what they are.
Right, because it doesn't seem like location-wise they're near the natural habitats of those animals.
It doesn't matter. They've been kept in these walls where I don't see any animals.
They don't have zoos.
They don't have, they're not supposed to read history books about other lands and animals.
They probably only have the animals that are like farm animals.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about this animal thing. It's very predator-prey, of course, and it gives me the whole life cycle kind of thing. But it's very weird. I just really hope there's flying whales. What's happening?
And even prehistoric
there's a T-Rex.
ocean creatures. There's a camel.
Weird. I don't know.
That would be a twist that I would not. I mean, that does actually, it is interesting because what is one of the first facts we learned about Titans? The animals aren't scared of them because they don't see them as a predator to them.
Yep. Very true. What is this?
Who is this other person? It's not one of our main people.
Right?
No, because Connie was accounted for, Historia was accounted for, Hanji is accounted for, Hans is accounted for. Who else is there? Other than Mikasa and Armin, and pretty sure that's all the people that we actually really know. We were given some names when Hanji was shouting orders, but they weren't characters that we've met before.
I don't know, man. Because I don't think it's anybody else. What about Sasha? Is she here? Sasha's not here, is she?
Sasha is here on the wall, but
is she?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be Sasha. We didn't see Sasha this episode.
Oh my god, Sasha wasn't with Connie and Krista, and that's who she probably would have. But Sasha was. You're so right, it's Sasha. Because Sasha was not. She didn't walk off with Connie and Krista. She was closer. Because remember that shot on the wall? She was in between Armin and Mikasa.
Mm-hmm.
So location wise, she would have been right there to listen to Hanji's orders. But Hanji specifically said names, and she was like, Armin, you come with me. And because Mikasa was already acting. But where was Sasha?
You know what? If we're on the bandwagon of is Sasha sus now, because if that is her, who's the person who quote unquote delivered this information from Erwin, who had an opportunity to look at it, change stuff, do whatever? That could totally be it.
I mean, Berthold, the Colossal Titan, is not killing them here. He grabbed people.
Yep.
Specifically, and he did what Annie did to Eren in the woods.
Sasha's here.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Then why don't we really see her later on in the episode?
She was grabbed.
Okay.
Right? And somebody else too. And then after that, we see Sasha on the wall.
Okay.
Right? I'm just triple checking. Yeah, Sasha's there.
Darn it!
Okay, so we're not going to be able to see it.
It's a random person.
But
it's just whoever. He might have tried to grab someone and he's taken whoever he
No way! This is Attack on Titan. This is not just a random person.
But the Colossal Titan's slow. He might have tried to grab someone specific.
No, they're putting him in the same shot as Ymir. Are you kidding me? It has to be something.
Well, they're definitely hiding who it is by him falling like this, but Ymir falling where we can see Ymir.
It's not John. I don't even we haven't even seen him. My man's been gone for ever.
Can you believe Mikasa wasn't? She was asking herself why she wasn't able to cut off their heads.
Yeah.
And it is so crazy to me because I think she would be maybe embarrassed to think about it. But she has definitely also become attached to these people. She probably feels similar to how Reiner and Berthold feel.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she isn't one to want to get attached to people other than Eren.
Mm-hmm.
And she's probably embarrassed that she wasn't able to know that Annie was the villain, beforehand. And then this situation.
At first, before we saw Franz, later on in the episode, I was like, could that be like who it was getting eaten?
Who's Franz?
Or Hans?
Is Franz a person we know?
Isn't the guy who's been with Aaron?
Is that Hans's other name?
I have Franz written down in my Franz Hanna written down in my notebook, but I could have it just spelled wrong. Who's the one who's been with Aaron since the start? Hans. Okay, and that's probably who.
Yeah, Hans. Hannes. I don't know why I'm spelling it. That just makes no sense. I'm sorry.
But regardless, I thought it was him. Until we saw him later on.
Yeah, and that was brown hair.
Yes.
Upon closer inspection, it was brown hair.
I am very weirded out though. Like, what do you think of like his whole like slow movements because he's so big? I feel like that makes sense.
It does make sense, and that makes sense why he has a defense attack.
Yeah, it does. It's very well thought out, no?
It's like his purpose was to have the initial wall breakdown because he was so freaking huge. And then he disappears after that, other than I think he throws some rocks or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then the armor titan was really the one that was supposed to get in the wall and knock down the internal wall.
Yeah. So, in like the episode of like Historia, right? The only people who were on the rooftops were Reiner, Berthold, Connie, and Historia, right? And then, so that means whoever was taken with Ymir was not there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have come at this point with Mikasa, Hanji, nameless people, Eren, and
there isn't a person I can think that it was.
Not any person that like we are connected with, really.
I mean,
right?
It could be a person that is significant to them, but we just don't know them yet. But I feel like it makes more sense to me that it was a random person.
Agreed. Still wild and weird. So that's weird. Okay, going on with the episode.
He has steam come off of him. Connie is oblivious to what has actually happened and asks them to please find and save Reiner and Berthold because they don't have ODM gear.
Yeah.
Poor Connie. He's the only one there that doesn't understand what's happening. He's gonna be upset when he figures it out, though.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna think directly back to his village and what Reiner said to him.
Can't use their ODM gear. The whole interaction, like the whole monologue that Eren had, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't shut up about a soldier's duty. During close combat training, were you always holding back on me? Always thought you were a stand-up guy. Someone who remained calm regardless of the situation. To think at one time I wish to be as strong as you someday. That
hit. And it's like everything he was saying is stuff that I think what's most interesting about how Eren's dialogue has been in the last 2 episodes is that everything he's saying is not necessarily like, I thought this and I thought you were like this is not necessarily a lie. Like, Reiner could still be in his own way a stand-up guy because we don't know why they are doing what they are doing. Not like, obviously there's gray area because they've killed, people have died. So obviously whatever it is isn't like the most like righteous save everyone path. But he could still be strong and stand up in his own way because he's obviously trying to protect his hometown and the people that he's known and loved, or the memories of the people he's known and loved. So it's a gray area. He could still, all of those things that Eren used to view him as and sees as a lie now could still all be true. And I think that's why it was like even more like poignant to hear him say those things at Reiner, because I feel like that's always the case, is that he's saying these things to him or about him, obviously not directly to him, that are not necessarily like lies.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, I mean, it's an easy correlation, like, the direct cause of Aaron's mother's death was Reiner and Berthold. Like we have the flashback here.
Reiner and Bert, like, I guess that's like the kind of, in a way, they're accessories to everyone's death, because they might have been driving the car, but they weren't the one that, I don't know, killed the person, shot.
Without the car being driven, then the people wouldn't have been shot.
Exactly.
They're the ones who literally opened the floodgates by intentionally not breaking walls with Titans in them, but breaking parts of walls without Titans in them and the part of wall with Aaron in it.
I mean, think of all those little, like, outcroppings all over the outer wall. Why was it that specific one that happened to be the town with the basement and Aaron? And you heard how Reiner said Aaron Yeager, you know, it was like he's this destined, important person that they're all watching. You know, to see if he becomes something that they want him to be.
Information available for public disclosure. Titan martial arts. Though not typically an impressive exhibition of power and size, martial arts is similarly effective for Titans as it is for humans. Grappling holds and throws used against a Titan opponent are sometimes more potent than striking a blow. That makes complete sense. Is this like just circles of power, or are they like Captain America shields that Aaron has right there? Like that's crazy.
I know it might fit. I mean, what was one of your like
I wanted him to have a big weapon.
Is you wanted him to have weapons.
Yes.
So I think maybe right now we can imagine that those are shields, but you're right, they're probably just like power orbs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The flashback.
Is it weird to think that one of them or both of them had a crush on the other?
No.
Because I felt that in season 1, and I was like, I'm just trying, like, I thought I was just trying to put romance into something, because I do tend to do that, and I want there to be, like, you know, we had a couple in the show, and what happened? One of them died, and we don't know what happened to the other one, because they were so heartbroken, but...
Annie doesn't show a lot of emotion, other than when she broke, finally. But in this scene... And if you're a guy, aren't you supposed to be gentle with this delicate body of mine? She is being so...
sounds like Bulma.
Why?
I don't know. I haven't watched Dragon Ball, but I think I watched like the first episode, and Bulma kind of like talks like that to Goku about women and my like she. I don't know.
Anyways, aren't you supposed to be delicate with this? Like she's being cheeky, obviously, and like flirting with the idea that she has information and he doesn't. Whatever, we know that she's the female Titan, but like directly between the two, there is like, your jokes aren't funny at all. I don't know. There's like it gave me some weird energy, right?
Mm-hmm. They definitely had a friendship.
Like they had a relationship, like this, like,
And like Annie's trying so hard to get him to like learn something here.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it shows more than just, I don't know. Part of me is like, it could have been her mission, but I feel like there's also care there. I feel like that whole time she was fighting him in season 1, both times there was emotion there.
Weren't we saying that the looks Annie Titan was giving Aaron Titan, like, why don't you recognize me kind of thing? Like,
why don't you realize what I'm doing?
Exactly.
Why? Yeah, it's almost like she had this feeling that once he saw her in Titan form or that he would just get it.
But doesn't that mirror how Reiner was kind of like surprised that Aaron didn't just want to go with them?
Right. It's like maybe they were given this notion before coming that he would he knew something more.
Mm-hmm. Maybe from his dad or something. Like, because like...
Maybe it's because they know about the basement and the key that they figured he might know something about what's in it.
Try to learn something first before you surrender.
And that's not the proper way to speak to a woman.
Do you want to learn that badly? I was like, Annie's kind of hot. Then
Reiner just comes and falls from the sky.
Do you remember early on in episode like 6 or...
He didn't want to fight Annie.
He did not want to fight Annie. He was scared of it.
I don't know, but like, what is that, like a fake? Is that acting, or is that he's fought Annie before in the past?
Maybe
and, like,
a little bit of both,
and just doesn't want to have to deal with it? Because obviously, look, he was thrown by Mikasa.
Why can't Aaron remember this? Is it like just because or like is there an actual thing going on?
Well, he was seeing it coming like flashes like in his eyes. So he had to watch the whole story play out. And then once he remembered how it ended is during the attack.
He didn't see how it ended though.
Yeah, but we watched him act out what I assume happened.
No? I don't. I could be wrong. I don't think so though. Hold on. Which one I wonder? Then he was. How did that turn out in the end? No. Why am I remembering it now? I'm pretty sure he remembered Annie doing it to him during the attack. I don't think I felt this
he doesn't remember
awful.
who won between Mikasa and Annie.
Which is very...
Is that weird?
I can't tell. Look, it's a flashback of them.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, this. It was like a silhouette, right?
Is that blood coming out of his mouth when he was like screaming?
It looked like it. Why didn't... This is it, right? It's Mikasa's memory of Annie doing it to Eren.
Mm-hmm.
But we never see the resolution
of what happened between Annie and Mikasa.
Which I don't know if that's weird or not, but...
I mean, it might be weird that he couldn't remember it, but it could also be like he was supposed to remember something else and anything else was not important. Because he was supposed to remember how to fight.
Your mistake was this. You should have thought twice about teaching me how to fight. It wasn't a mistake.
I love that line. They purposefully taught you, dude.
It feels that way.
I mean, that is how it feels. I guess that's like our opinion at the moment.
Like, because there's totally like the... I don't know. It's hard for me to believe it's black and white and there's not anything else going on. Mm-hmm. Eren... him ripping his arm off was great. I love coherent, smart Titan Eren.
Where Hanji's like on his shoulder,
so good,
and he listen to Armin.
Listening to Armin going back to the wall.
Right,
like,
he was like a puppy.
I loved it. It was so good, and like I was like, "What's going on? Oh my god!" And then it's like, "Oh, Eren's like ready for this." Like
with the arm on the wall, it's kind of like he was playing tag, and he's like, "I'm safe."
So this is the first shot that we get of
what's happening to Berthold.
Yeah, of like him not being skin ananymore.
His mouth's all the way open. So it's like
my thing is like, is he gone? He's not in there anymore. Maybe like because Annie was able to slip out. Yeah, Annie was able to slip out while she was getting eaten. And I'm assuming when we were still seeing parts of her Titan body. And the bodies, obviously, we know, are not in the mouth anymore. Mm-hmm. Is Berthold already gone with Ymir and the other person? You know?
I mean, I feel like Berthold could definitely carry Ymir, but he couldn't carry the other person if he was in human form, like with Ymir.
That's a good question. Do you get, if you have the ability... Could he
change into a tinier Titan form?
Well, if you have the ability to become a Titan, do you have that strength in your human form at all, too?
That's a good question. That depends on if, the first thing I think of was Reiner letting Eren win all those times, or was he not as strong in his human form? I mean, he was thrown by Mikasa.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't have that strength in their human form.
This was one of the most interesting things in this episode to me. Hanji stating in the armor they used in Wars of the Past, it had sections at the joints not covered in metal to allow for movement. Mm-hmm. Two things. One, why does Hanji know about the Wars of the Past? Is that public information? Is she in a position where she's allowed to know about the past and details about that? Were these wars within the walls? Or are they outside of, like, you know what I mean?
Doesn't she seem like the type of person who would find, like, banned books and stuff and try to seek out knowledge she wasn't supposed to learn?
Yes, but it's weird, right? Mm-hmm. But it also gives us a really good idea, or at least in my head, that Reiner would not only have that knowledge as well, but I think comes from a time where that was around.
So are you saying that he's really old?
I thought Ymir was really old. Like, it's like literally ingrained in his body, this armor. And he would need to have knowledge of how that stuff works to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to take the armor off my legs so I can, or like disperse it differently so I can move faster. Mm-hmm. And we have this is the same armor and weapons that we have in the outro. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming that that's from a long time ago. Mm-hmm. My only thing is, like, they keep saying to go back to their town, right? Mm-hmm. If they're
but it's not there anymore necessarily.
If they're really old, how are they going to go back there? You know? Is this like a Minutemen situation?
Is it like if we complete our mission, we can finally die and be with all of the people from our hometown?
Like a self-sacrifice kind of thing.
That's another way you could look at it.
I really wanted one of them to grab a piece of this.
I thought for sure. I mean, it might be like slightly different material than the crystal, Annie's crystal, and it might be actually similar.
We're talking about the armor from the Armored Titan.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the armor breaking off.
Man, and all he was doing was getting him into position to not necessarily call other Titans, but to give a signal to Berthold.
Yeah, that he was ready for something, for some moment.
For the ribs to break and fall.
They had to have some escape plan, right? To like, there has to be some plan involved, because Berthold was obviously already gone out of this, and or already killing off the Titan form. Or is that the nature of the Colossal Titan, that it can only be around for a couple minutes?
Maybe. It's going right for them. Jesus, man. The shot, like, oh my god.
That is such a cool shot.
That's so
Oh, his mouth, like, being so open. And then they're, like, so tiny.
You know what the best thing, like, one of the best things about this episode was? The animation of them flying around the Colossal Titan's arm. Like, that was so freaking cool, dude.
We hadn't seen something that kind of was that cool since, like, Levi fighting Annie in the woods.
Yep.
And it was nice to kind of see them just going around his arms like that.
Connie being like, where are Reiner and Berthold?
I know,
I'm like,
poor
oh
Connie
my goodness.
doesn't know what's happening.
Do you think it is somebody who we just don't know who was taken by?
Yeah, I think it was a random person that he took.
That's hard to believe.
Ymir. I mean, it is, but like, there's no one that we know that it could be. I don't know what happens from here. I'm going to assume that Reiner and Berthold had some plan B of if Eren said no to coming with them.
I want to see, like, we had the whole like succession of the attack, right? Mm-hmm. Mikasa being like, if only I'd cut off their heads, and then the lunging from the Colossal Titan, and then that's followed by the Colossal Titan putting Ymir and that nameless person into their mouth. I want to see if we see anything, like, while it's going on, anything we can like gauge. The way that they animated it almost gives like a 3D element. It's really interesting. It's really cool to show how different it is. Like, that's I'm assuming is when he grabbed Ymir and someone else, right? Left hand went over.
It might have been the person carrying Ymir.
That would seem weird. Then I think he just killed them. Like, there has to be a reason that he grabbed somebody else and took them. Like, right? Don't you think?
I get why you think that there needed to be a reason. I don't have any evidence at the moment in my mind that supports that it wasn't just another one of the soldiers that was there.
Could be this guy. All these, like, shoes. They're in the way of my frame-by-frame look. It's such a cool shot. There's so many different elements being animated. This is the guy. Right?
Yeah, he's not significant at all.
It's him. He's the one who's being caught, though.
Yeah, but he's not significant to us.
I don't know. His hair's kind of neat. He's significant in his own right, okay?
He's significant to himself.
It's interesting that we see that, though, right?
Right.
Because that's it. They mention it, and somebody else too.
Yeah.
Pompadour. He ate him.
Weird look on his face.
I know.
When he swallows the people, there's a weird look on his face.
Assuming he swallows them. I don't think he did. He might have.
I don't understand enough about Titan biology.
We always get these flowers. You know?
Annie?
Not with just Annie.
These like little white flowers.
When Eren turned into a Titan to protect Armin and Mikasa.
Yeah, and there was flowers.
We always be getting flowers, dude.
It's probably some type of innocence and or protecting things that are natural or life. It has some symbolism there.
I really liked the fact that Eren fought using like intelligence and like martial arts and not just, ooh, I'm big and scary and can punch hard. And I liked that Mikasa helped. I didn't like the idea that it was just going to be Eren versus another Titan like for like the foreseeable future.
I liked that there was something that Mikasa could do to help.
Me too. I liked that a lot. And she succeeded in it before Big Boy fell.
Big Boy.
It's a cool shot.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have, you.
Yeah. I don't know what their escape plan is. Makes you wonder if Bertholdt has already left that body, is Reiner like they have to have some type of plan or communication at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the goal or plan is. I thought for sure when he yelled that other Titans were going to show up. That's the vibe that they were creating, and I guess that's why another character was like, "No, there are no Titans."
Can Eren call other Titans if he wanted to? Or is that like
it's not like a call, like an order. It was like alerting Hugh that there was a dying animal.
Yeah, that's
so
what Sasha
I'm sure
said,
he
right?
could summon Titans to come eat him if he desired that.
Yeah. That's a different order that like you're alerting Titans to your whereabouts rather than controlling them like the Beast Titan did.
Yeah.
Which is weird still that he can talk.
Okay, yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
That was a really good episode.
It was a really good episode.
But like, when is it not a good episode? So
true.
I feel repetitive when I say like that was a good episode.
Yeah. I feel that. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. Like, she's being cheeky, obviously, and like flirting with the idea that she has information, he doesn't, whatever, we know that she's the female Titan, but like, she's being cheeky, obviously, and like flirting with the idea that she has information, he doesn't, whatever, we know that she's the female Titan, but she's being cheeky, obviously.
She's being cheeky, obviously.